Hello, this is Duntov. So today is Friday, November 21st, 2025. And as you can see, I am at the old Tropicana site, the future home of the Las Vegas Athletics. So it is for Las Vegas standard, it's a cold and rainy day. Right now it's not really, it's got like a light sprinkle going on, but you can see the overcast, and they are calling for more rain to come in right now, soon. But as we can see, they still have a lot going on site. I want to show, this would be like the outfield area. They do have the concrete pump truck here, and they're pumping concrete down into all these forms down this way. I'm not sure what this white crane in the front, you can see it turning right now. I don't know what they were loading into place right now. Got all the tour helicopters coming back. These are usually the Grand Canyon. Seem like they always have like 4 or 5 of them all in a row when they all come back together. But again, let's look at there's a lot of crew working in this area. Trying to see, I don't notice the Athletics concrete truck over there. I don't see it. It could be one of these two though that are backed up. This one I can't really tell. It's not that one, because if you remember that one, you could actually see the baseball stitching, the red stitching. So that one there's not it. And I don't think it's over there right now. It's hard to see those ones. Okay, but if we look back there, they got a lot more of the rebar cages going up to start putting the columns in. Not sure what that is there. You can see the wood forms there on that straight piece there, and then there's another one over this way to the left. Or it looks like it's kind of the same thing as these ones here. Starting to get a good breeze going. See, they're moving this yellow tower crane, or not tower crane, crawler crane. They're actually moving it on the mat right now to the other end. And then the tower crane is moving, I don't know if this is a generator or air compressor, but they're moving that piece of equipment. It looks like they're moving it off of the concourse area. And then right in front here, if you remember, they were building this. I think the last time I was out here, we were checking out how it does say the Athletics on the sides there. But now it's going up. They're getting a lot more rebar in there. I think the last time I was here, they were building this stairwell right, you know, right here on the side of it. Still got the helicopters flying in. So it is Formula One race week. I think tonight is qualifying. Yesterday was practice. Tonight is supposed to be qualifying, and then tomorrow night is the race. So it's big. It's big out here. Looking good. So you can see a lot more of the rebar on this level here. If you follow the athletics, they actually posted a couple days ago, they were showing them working on pouring the concrete on the first section back there. You can see the reflection of the wet concrete. But they put some pictures of them working and pouring it in there. And then as we can see this part, it looks like a lot of the rebar, lots changed since when I was here earlier this week. I wouldn't be surprised if they pour next week. Sorry for the shake, I'm just zoomed in so far. This is my cell phone I'm filming it on. Then if we look across to the other side, there's a lot going on this way too. Alright, we can see here, I'm showing, I know the last few videos, you got all this new shoring that went up. And we can see how they are starting to put the decking across. Alright, I hear the whistle going off, so let's see. Alright, the tower crane has something on the end, but it looks like the crawler crane is picking up a big pieces of big rebar cage there, because I'll show you once we get back. We'll watch this one go, but they're putting a lot more columns on this concourse level. Some of them have the forms up around them already, and then they got these new ones where they're starting to put them. I'll show you over here. So you can see a lot more of the columns going in. So this would, you know, obviously once these are in, they'll start putting the next level on top of that. So you got them ones in on this front part where they haven't poured the deck yet, and then you got back there where they're already getting the forms in so they can start pouring those. And if we look down on the ground where they're picking that up, you can see they have them columns there, but then there's a lot of rebar waiting to get in, put in all this way. So this right here, that would be the southeast side of the stadium where they have all that ready to go. I'm actually getting a little cold standing here right now. There's wind and then just a little bit of wetness. You know, when you live in Las Vegas too long, then any little bit of cold makes you feel cold. And we're not used to this humidity either. So we're all a little bit wimpy over here. It's probably 55 degrees, but it just feels cold right now. All right, so they're lifting that in, but there is a semi that just pulled in. I'm gonna try to see what's on this flatbed. You can see the red cab. Not sure what those are. I mean, they're like black boxes. Could those be the things that they're putting on the decking that they put the rebar in? If anyone knows, let us know. You know, them rectangle black boxes, those maybe are them. It looks like there's actually some back there also on the ground. So might be. All right, let's get back over here and let's see. You can hear they're gonna lower this into place. We're lowering that one into place, and then I'm gonna swing back this way. Sorry for all the movement. There's just a lot going on today. You can see this white crane is moving some kind of form over there. I can't figure out. I'm trying to figure out what if they're just moving it, because I got like this black visqueen stuff over here. Kind of look like they're just moving the stuff out of the way. You can see how it looks like they just have a lot of it piled up down there. That's what it looks like. They're just kind of setting stuff in the over that way. It looks like the tower crane just took that form off. See right there, and it looks like they just took it off over here. There's someone on top of it. I don't know. It looks like from here it doesn't look like there's concrete, but I could be wrong that it came off from that. I wasn't expecting a lot to be going on just because of the weather, and actually it's like one of the busier days that I've been out here. Good view of everything going on. I haven't seen them doing anything with the back, the yellow crawler in the back there. I'm gonna move down a little bit. I want to go try a different spot to see if we could see back around where the crawler crane right here is, to see in on that side behind this structure they're putting up. I just moved a little bit here. I just wanted to see. You can see there's a crew working on the top here. Then we could see in the back there them working in here. We can still see they're moving that cage around. Alright, so I did get a comment where someone said that the Athletics they saw some interview or some kind of write-up about this stadium, that they are already laying out like the dugouts and stuff. So I didn't read that, but I'm not sure exactly where it would be over here right now. If we look over here, let's look at this. Alright, so if you watch my videos, I always show there's home plate there. You can see it right between them two cones, right by the porta potty. That's home plate. Now there is another marker over here. Could this be first base? I don't know. Would it be that close? I mean, if you look how close it would be to these columns. But you know, just because of the size of this, maybe it is. You know, it's hard to make out the actual diamond, like which way it would go. Looks like this might be over too far, but never know. But I'm not sure exactly where the dugouts, you know, can't really make it out where it would be here. I haven't seen any renderings of stuff like that. Well, I guess I have, like some of the stuff they release, but I haven't checked it out lately. Okay, as I'm looking around, so if we look, you know, the A's logo, we have it on these forms over here, and then I just noticed over here they do have a canopy back this way. There's actually an Athletics canopy there. But besides that, there's really not a lot of advertising of the stadium yet. I have not seen any. Yeah, I would think on the construction walls on the outside that they would have been advertising, you know, showing the renderings of it. They do have right here, Mortensen McCarthy put up, you know, Athletics, but I thought they would have more stuff on the walls out, you know, on the street so people could see, it, but nothing yet. Alright, so this tower crane is moving out all these forms from the columns, so Those must be all the columns that we could see, you know, the taller ones there. They start lifting them. By the time I noticed they're lifting that up, it's hard to make out because there's so many columns and cages sticking up. It's hard to tell where they're coming off of. So if I had a guess, I'd say all this taller, you know, these taller columns that are poured, that's what they're removing now. So they're not messing around, it's moving quick. Okay, I moved down a little bit so we could see a lot more stuff back behind this pile of material. We can see how this is all going vertical on this side. So that would be the west side of the stadium. And if we look around, you can see how much more rebar. They got all these trailers with all the rebar. You got some there. This one's offloaded, but then they got a lot more cages. And then out here, outside of the stadium part, there's another one there. A lot of rebar getting installed and built again. Alright, we can see the black crane back there moving something. It's got a big form on it. Alright, I'm going to keep an eye on the red tower crane. I want to see if they're taking them forms off them columns over there. It looks like they're getting ready to hook something up. Alright, if we look, you can see someone climbing down the side of this column here. So I think that's the one they just hooked it up to. You can see right there the cable. So yeah, so they poured all these columns and they're taking all the forms off now. There you go. See how it had like that dust fly up when they took it off. Them columns are going up. You know, we're going to keep seeing these levels going and going. It's going to be, before you know, it's going to be so tall I won't even have to come up to the OYO just to see. I'll be able to just see it from, you know, anywhere on the outside. And then I'd probably get a better view because I could zoom in with my other camera. So it won't be long before that starts. I do see a lot of crew walking right now. It's almost about 12 o'clock, so I'm thinking it should be lunch time soon. I want to move down by these offices again. If you saw my last video, I was showing like the display stuff and all the forms down there, and there's one thing I wasn't sure what it was, so I want to get closer to see if I could see what it is. Okay, I'm over here. You know, I was showing this stuff, like all this, the finishes and stuff of the stadium. Then I saw this and come to see, wondering what this was, and it's just some solar panels. Not sure what they're charging up with it. It doesn't look like it's plugged into anything, but so we got just panels. Okay, I guess that's all I got for today. So if you're not subscribed and you would like to follow along, please subscribe to my channel, Raiders1967. Get updates on this stadium build, which is, it seems like every time I come out now, there's a lot more to see. And then also the new Hard Rock guitar tower that's being built with the transformation of the old Mirage building. If anything you liked about the video, if you could give me a thumbs up, that'd be greatly appreciated. And there's also the new feature they have, which is you can hype a video. That helps a lot of our smaller channels get more exposure. There's some kind of hype button, should be like somewhere under the video. And if you know you like the video and like to help promote it, I'd appreciate a hype. I'm still figuring those out also, but saying it just helps us smaller channels compete with the million subscriber channels. So I'd like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. I will be out of town next week, so there will be no updates because I'm not going to be in Vegas. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and I will see you when I get back. Have a good holiday.